Vols are back.
Yeah. Money make the world go round. I'm trying to get it all right now. Everybody worry about the crown big. Look, homie, I'm the man right now. Talking to a peon, kind of time we on. Don't roll like the kind of take eons. Got a little buzz, it's time to go beyond. Can't look back, no time to hit rewind. Yeah, she wants to do S class. I'm like, boo, you must ask. They pour way too much in your glass. Just move your hips like a hold up class. Get the gab, I talk that gap. Strut like up, man, I walk that shit. When I'm up, that's it. I'ma start living reckless. Get that bag, I'ma walk like this. Yeah, I'ma walk like this. Hit that lane, I'ma walk like this. Walk in the spot, but they all get lit. Tell them on flow, let me talk my shit. Every song bang, but they drop in hit. Stand on the man, post stop, no miss. Over your head, next time, don't slip. Play your part, better read that script. Yeah, I'ma walk like this.
Hold on a minute, everybody. Hold on a minute. I think you guys are gonna love this. I think you guys are gonna love this. This is quality entertainment right here. All right. I'll give you one guess at who's who.
Dude, I swear if Squid scores 100.
You can sort of take a guess at who the Utah Utes were and who the BYU Cougars were. Yeah. Put the salt shaker down, buddy. We got to get started. How's everybody doing tonight? Good to see everyone here. We got a full crowd in the comments. 15 people. That's a full crowd. But I'm glad to see everybody here tonight. A lot of people. Welcome back to the Volstar Podcast, episode 96. We are not that far away from the grand finale of this show. And I've got some grand plans for you guys once we get to that point. And you'll just have to wait and see in due time. But we've got some big news today. Drama in the portal. Not somebody named Drama, but you get the idea. A lot of stuff going on with the transfer portal, both good and bad for Tennessee. We got a lot of incoming commits. And we've got to talk about whatever the hell's going on with Jake Retzloff over there, because that's probably the biggest news as of right now. This is probably the weirdest thing I've seen in the offseason since the obvious thing being Nico bouncing over to UCLA. But yeah, we got a lot to talk about tonight. First off, how are my co-hosts WolVolrine and Mr. Julio Rodriguez? First of all, good to see you guys. But how are you guys doing tonight?
I was doing fine until you showed that stupid video. Like, man, how many clips of me do you have?
That wasn't a clip. I just ripped that straight from your channel. So,
like, man, you like how you basically rip everything from my channel.
Well, what can I say? Everybody loves a good lol cow. But yeah. Okay, Julio, how are you doing?
Same as always, practically. Doing good, though.
Right. Well, good to hear from both of you guys, and hope the rest of your week goes well. Same to you guys in the comment section. Got a few people in here already. Super Nuclear, Goo, Matt Dummett, Rokill Nick, Floby, Rookie 17. Good to see you guys in the comments. All right, well, let's go ahead and get into some of the news for today, because there is a lot we got to go through. First of all, before we get through anything else, I just want to remind you guys that if this is your first time being on the Volstar Podcast, know this: we are not official or affiliated with the University of Tennessee. We are just big-time Tennessee Volunteer fans. And whether or not you're a Tennessee fan or a fan of any other school in particular, we're glad to have you guys over here. All right, well, another thing, if you go into the, I believe it's in the description, might just be floating somewhere in the abyss, but we do have a merch store now for Squidtard and Volstar Podcast merch. If you want to go and check that out, go to the Squidtard shop. Should be in the description. If not, it'll be on the main channel dashboard. And all right, well, one more thing. Of course, I did want to give a special shout out to all of my fantastic channel members who have been supporting me throughout this endeavor. Mr. Tyler Heller, Jolene Orenji, Rainman998899, EVX, Youngman Connor, SEC Football Tube, Mantis Toboggan, Daizo, Not JFKH, and the rest of them are just letters. Ashton Wilcox, Milton Butler, That Guy, Molnar, and Sifs. All those people, shout out to you guys for all of your support that you've given to this channel. All right, then. Well, now it is time to go ahead and get into some of the stuff for today. First off, before we get to anything else, we got to talk about this. So, get this. Now, the tweet doesn't exist anymore, but Tennessee fans are all in arms today because a possible new uniform got leaked from Nike, and these Tennessee fans are losing their minds. Now, if I can find at any point this uniform, and it's probably a fake, so that's why I said it probably isn't real, but
I think I have it right here. I know. Yeah, here it is.
We can hardly see it.
There we go.
Yeah, we've seen enough. It's ugly as it is. Yeah.
Yeah. The thing is, though, is that I don't think it's real. It looks like a Chinese knockoff. That's at least what I think it is. Well, I don't think it's that.
Honestly, I feel like it would be extremely hilarious if it was real, because think about it. All these Tennessee fans have been in pure outrage. Don't go to Adidas. Adidas bad, Nike good. Adidas bad, Nike good. It would just be extremely hilarious for Nike to whip out the biggest pile of diarrhea knowing that we're stuck with them. I feel like that would be hilarious, because then all these Tennessee fans would suddenly switch their tune. No, we got to go to Adidas now. We got to go to Adidas. Adidas good, Nike bad. Point is, unless it's something grotesque like you just saw on Lucas's screen, unless it's something like that, who gives a hell about what uniforms we wear? Like, we wear so many uniforms now, we might as well be the Oregon Ducks. So at this point, it really doesn't matter to me, unless if it looks like that. So
yeah, I don't know. I honestly just don't want us to go to Adidas, because I remember our Adidas jerseys back then were absolutely terrible. For example, 2013, when we had those terrible smoky gray uniforms with like the white pants and then the white helmet, it looked absolutely terrible. And now Nike, I feel like they actually done the smoky gray uniforms right. I feel like they put out some pretty decent smoky grays, especially the latest ones they had. Those were probably the best ones we've had, in my opinion, at least. And plus, not to mention the black uniforms, those are sick. And I feel like Nike, in my opinion, got the orange spot on, like, first try with us. And I think they've been putting out good uniforms ever since. And why people want to go to Adidas, back to Adidas, is just beyond me. I mean, I get it, it's more money, but I don't know. I feel like Nike has, been giving us better uniforms. We don't know what Adidas is gonna give us.
That's true. Can't argue with that. So yeah, point is, everybody, it's probably a fake, but under the slight possibility that it isn't fake, a majority of our fan base deserves it.
Adidas is better than they were, to be completely fair. Tell that to your basketball jerseys, Scoob. Those were horrendous. Like, those were bad.
How bad, you ask?
Here, I can pull them up.
I got it. I'll pull it up on the screen.
Like, they were bad.
Let's see how awful he's talking about.
Oh, yep, I found him. Like, look.
Yeah, that's the point.
Look at that.
We can hardly see it.
Well, of course you can. There's a light. But yeah, look at that. That's bad.
Yeah, pretty bad. Here is some more examples of what he's talking about up here. Yeah, here's another picture of what it was. Yeah, no, that's pretty bad. That's pretty terrible. That's I agree with you on that one. That's pretty bad. But it doesn't really mean that all the uniforms are going to be bad. They have some hit or miss at the end of the day. That's all there is to it. And all that really matters to me is which ones mean we win. which means you got to throw away the orange helmet.
We've been doing better with the Nike uniforms.
Okay, yeah, I guess that's a good point. All right then. Well, here's some more news before we get into the just the individual sports on their own. 4 years ago, around this time, we got our first teaser at EA Sports making a new college football game. Well, they've done it again, everybody. This time, they've done it. They have announced that they will be working on a brand new college basketball game. Now, it's going to be a long time before it releases, so we won't be able to even get a taste of it probably until like 2028, I think they said. But at least they're developing a brand new basketball game, and I'm sure it is going to be an absolute legacy hit as long as they do it right. You think so?
Yeah, it should be. I'm hoping that it's good as college football because the college football 25 game was absolutely so hyped up, and now college football 26 is supposed to be better than 25, but of course we'll see in a few weeks. But yeah, I'm very excited about this game. Maybe we could finally get to see Tennessee make a Final Four.
That's right. That's right. You never know what might happen. And then we'll get to see the Tart area Squidtard basketball team, and that one's probably going to bother some people.
Yeah. And it makes me start to wonder because they also used to have a college baseball video game. I wonder if they're going to bring back the college baseball video game, and I'm hoping and praying they do, dude. I want a college baseball video game so bad.
Yeah, they got to complete the trifecta.
Yeah. I'm hoping they do. EA needs to realize that if they made a college baseball game, that would get so much money. But then again, I don't know if EA should be making it. I've saw some people say that Sony should make it because Sony's been making the MLB The Show games for years.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, who knows at this point? And
there's only one way to find out whether or not it's worth anything.
Yeah, I figured if they was going to bring the college basketball game back, I figured it was either going to be EA, and also 2K, of course, was talking about bringing it back as well, because they used to, before EA made them, the 2K used to make the college basketball games.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I guess of course EA is doing it.
Right.
2K did respond to someone talking about them making college basketball game. They said the court has been quiet way too long.
It's a good way of putting it, I guess. I can't think of anything better to say about that. If they were to make a baseball game, though, that would be great for Arkansas fans. Then they can win a national championship.
Mm-hmm. What do you think of Texas State to the Pac-12? I mean, congratulations. You went from one Group of 6 conference to another Group of 6 conference.
I think it's a good move for him. It might just be me, but I think it's a great move for him. And because Texas State is a program that is on the incline. You've seen it in their performances. They used to be an absolute dumpster fire. They used to be just like Kent State, but now they've steadily improved, and now they're pretty decent. They could make some noise in the Pac-12, which it all really depends on how far Boise State's going to fall after this season without Jinty Ball. But Texas State right now could potentially be a favorite for that conference. And if they are, and they don't have too many losses, they could find themselves as a playoff team. Just something to think about.
Yeah, Texas State, like you said, is a program on the rise. I actually really like their head coach. I'm pretty sure their head coach is actually pretty young. I think he's only in his 30s or something.
Yeah. And in the age of continuous expansion through the conferences, playoff appearances for Group of 5 teams are extremely important. Like right now, who would you say is the favorite in your eyes to go from a Group of 5 or Group of 6 program to a Power 4 program? Who's your favorite?
Well, here's a few favorites in mind. I'd probably say Boise State.
Stop. Stop. That's my point. See, Boise State. They make the playoffs, and now people are expecting them to, at some point, make it to a Power 4 conference.
Well, listen, Boise State has always been one of the biggest Group of 5 brands, for a long time. I'm just saying.
Yeah, so
I'm not denying that.
Here's the thing: a lot of the stuff that has to do with if any of them were to ever move up to the Power 5 level, it would probably depend on your TV market value and how much you bring, and that's the only reason I don't think Boise would ever get to the Power 5 is just because where they're located.
Yeah.
Uh,
I heard some people complain about geography, but why do it now? Why are you surprised by this move now? I mean, you just saw two Pacific Coast teams go to the Atlantic Coast Conference. So,
Like I said-
by that point, why be surprised at anything like this?
Like I said, I think they should rename the ACC to the All Coast Conference.
They just need to rename it the Tank Conference. That's what they need to do, because that's what it is.
Probably. Or better yet, we just go back to conferences based on geography. How about that?
Yeah. Heard somebody say that it should be called the All Clemson Conference, and based on based on the stature of where they are now, it's really not that far off.
Yeah, that's that. Not gonna lie, that I agree with that one. That's what the ACC should be called now, All Clemson Conference. That's funny.
Extremely depressing when you put it that way. Now, again, some of the other conferences aren't that much better. For example, this is a sneak peek at a video I've got coming up, which is, of course, the Big Ten video. But it's called something like the Three Kings Among the Peasants, because there's only for the longest time there have only been three teams in the Big Ten that have been at least somewhat on a dominant level at some point: Michigan, Ohio State, and Penn State. Everyone else is a complete dumpster fire and has had like
Well,
1
heck-
year of success where they even don't even make it to the Big Ten title.
Well, heck, and another thing is, think about this: Penn State was added in what, like 1992,
Yeah.
if I remember correctly.
Yeah, no, you've had teams in there that have been in there for like a century and just can't get out of their own way and do anything with it.
Like I said, literally the only team, like if you had to come up with, other than Penn State, who was added in 1992, who would you think you would say is the third best program in the Big Ten? Like original members.
Yeah, right. I don't know.
I
Yeah,
honestly,
you can't find one. Yeah.
yeah,
Like,
probably
really
nobody.
Really, the only program I can think of is Minnesota, and that's mostly just because the 40s to the 60s they were
Mhm.
really good.
Yeah.
Everything after that has just been the slow incline of just being the 7-5 merchants.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So
That's where
really
they've
think about
been.
it. And literally, the only other ones I can think of is like any other team that I think of. You literally have to go back towards like 1920s to like 1960s when they were good.
Yeah, the moment I knew
Illinois.
this theory was right was when I heard a Big Ten fan talk about how Nebraska won a bunch of national championships in the 90s when they were in the Big 12. I'm like, if you got to flex Nebraska in your conference, then you're out. You're pretty much all out of hope. That's what I think.
Yeah, and I mean, like I said, that's the thing. Like, of course, I mean they have they have restored programs and stuff like that, but Nebraska hasn't won anything since the '90s, just like us.
Mm-hmm.
I had to push it down a little bit for
Cole
that.
Worley asks, do you think college football is going to get worse before it gets better? In what aspect? Because if we're talking NIL and transfer portal, then yes, I do think it gets worse because we just saw it get implemented. Basically, coaches and programs are able to just buy players from other teams. I mean, we've seen that with several different players, and the whole thing with Nico is basically open the floodgates. That's not the last time you're going to see something like that happen in college football. I don't know if it's going to happen with some big name player like the Norris Sellers or DJ Lagway or somebody like that, but it's going to happen again. One of these players is going to be all 100% committed, and then the moment that they find a bigger deal at another program, they're going to say deuces and move on over that other team. Loyalty is kind of a dead aspect, and until coaches, because that's the main thing. None of this would be happening with the NIL and the transfer portal getting as bad as it is if coaches across the Power 5 level didn't revolt against, if they revolted against that whole thing, none of this would be happening. The only ones that actually said anything about it are, at least in my mind, Nick Saban, who's not coaching anymore, Dabo says a lot of things, and Mike Gundy, who lost 9 games, so nobody's taking any of his opinions seriously. So it's raising a lot of problems. So until coaches in full, some of the bigger name coaches start to push back against all this, it's just going to keep getting worse and worse. And I feel like eventually somebody is going to, start saying something, whether it's Kirby Smart, Dan Lanning, Ryan Day, one of these big name coaches is going to start saying something. And then, the rest will follow suit because everybody loves to be a follower.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah, it'll probably be something like, what will probably eventually get it reined in will be someone like you just said, Kirby Smart or someone like that losing a big time recruit or a big time player to getting outbid by probably an unexpected team that really needs that player, and they'll probably start complaining about it.
Mm-hmm.
You might as well be in different leagues, not conferences, different leagues.
Like I could already see it now. Like imagine if Georgia Tech for some reason just spent a bunch of money on one player and then that just pissed off Kirby.
You're right.
I could definitely see that happening.
It will. It's gonna keep happening. We've already seen. We've seen this before. It was even cool to do it. Quinshad Judkins from Ole Miss. Remember him when he was committed there, fully committed there. Then suddenly he bounces in the transfer portal. A week later, is committed to Ohio State. So they've been doing it ever since NIL was implemented. They've been doing it. They just haven't been doing it at this grand of a scale yet, and it's just gonna keep. They're just going to keep getting bolder and bolder until eventually somebody stands up against it.
Yeah, that's probably what's going to happen.
Right. Well, enough of that. Let's talk about some other football news. Some good football news. Good for Tennessee, at least. New recruits have joined the roster. Well, not joined the roster just yet, but they'll eventually join the roster pending they don't decommit. First off, Zayden Anderson, 3-star corner from Greenville High School. Shout out to my friend Big Vol Daddy up there. Greenville High School, Zayden Anderson. He committed June 28th after an official visit. He's a dual sports standout as he does track and football. He's the number 11th ranked recruit in the state of Tennessee. So somebody else to add to the secondary, I believe, in the 2026 class. This is the biggest pickup, at least from a lot of people's perspective. Legend Bay is what he's called. He's a 4-star athlete from North Forney High School in Texas. Number 301 recruit based on all three on three rankings. He chose Tennessee over Duke and Texas A&M. And, like I said, he's a 4-star athlete, so he can fit in multiple positions. It all just depends on where Heupel wants him to be. But he's fast. He adds a lot of versatility. So he can be in a lot of places. So it'll be interesting to see exactly where they put him. There's no way to know because, we got Boo Carter as a wide receiver. So next up, Edward Baker, actually. 3-star interior offensive lineman from Baltimore, Maryland. He chose Tennessee over Ole Miss and Arkansas. He's 6'4", 335 pounds. And adds a lot of mass, so love that. Love getting all the linemen that we can get. And then finally, Kedrick Gulston, the second, is a 3-star edge from Georgia. Yes, we picked up a recruit out of the state of Georgia. And he chose Tennessee over Georgia, shocker, Rutgers, and Virginia Tech. So with all those 4 commits, Tennessee's 2026 class moved up from number 55 to number 22. So now Tennessee is back in the top 25 race for the 2026 class, and all those people spamming about, June recruiting or whatever, they can finally hush. So, yeah, good for them. And actually, On3 has ranked them as high as number 15, so if you get your rankings from On3, there you go. So, yeah, a lot of big-time recruits committing to Tennessee. What do you guys think about that?
Proving my point that Tennessee's 3-star U. Bunch of 3 stars and only 1 4-star out of that.
Well, there aren't many 5 stars currently. A lot of 5 stars wait until right before the deadline to commit. So
yeah, we are in on what? I think we're in on what, like 3 or 4 5-stars this cycle.
But
Yeah, we're in the race for a lot of the big time 5-stars.
I will say though, what's his name? Legend Day or something like that.
Legend Bay.
Legend Bay. Oh well, I think he's gonna be good for us. I mean, with a name like that, you gotta be right. I mean,
You think so?
But of course, Tennessee. I've been hearing a lot of good things about getting Savion Hyder. He recently came on a visit for us, and he had a lot of good things to say. I'm liking our chances with him. Also, I'm actually kind of liking our chances with Tristan Keys. He recently had a visit with us, and he had a lot of good things to say. And I'm starting to think we might actually be able to flip him. I'm really starting to think it. I've been hearing a lot of good things from all these other people. I don't know how good their sources are, but if they are correct, then I'm liking our chances to flip him.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm right, if we get both of them, won't that make it where we have the number 1 quarterback, running back, and wide receiver?
Yes, it would. It would, because Tristan Keys is the number 1 receiver in the class, Savion Hyder is the number 1 running back in the class, and then Faison's the number 1 QB in the class.
Oh man. All right. Well, yeah.
Loaded.
That
loaded
would,
offense.
Yeah, that would be GG's for a lot of teams in the conference. Yeah, we need that. I know would personally like that.
Yeah, I know we're also in the running for a 5-star offensive lineman, and I think we're in his top 5 or something like that. So we might be able to land him. So if we land those guys, Tennessee is on the verge of having another a top 10 class.
So cross your fingers and hope for the best. That's all I can really say about that. Here's this isn't really necessarily news, but it's always fun to get into some of these football banters. And a big time one got started because everybody's favorite, Josh Pate. Yes, everyone's favorite Josh Pate. The best of the Sunshine Pumpers. He actually posted a toughest places to play ranking. And guess who he's put at number 1? I think everybody on this panel at least knows.
Central Michigan. It's such a tough place to play.
Yeah, but but who's 1B? Tennessee.
Kent State.
That's okay. Yeah.
Kent State. But Kent State is a tough place to play.
Yeah, right. So here's the list right here of the top 12.
Do you know what the name of Kent State Stadium is, by the way?
Let me guess. Nick Saban. We used to have Nick Saban Stadium.
No, it's Dick's Stadium.
Oh, I was just gonna say, who cares? Stadium.
Yeah, we are a dead program stadium.
At Kenny Burns Field. Poor Kent State. They've been through enough. It's been over a year since they won a football game. Give them a break. But yeah.
Hey, I will say though, Kent State's about to make a lot of money from the 26 game because it seems like everybody's going to be playing with Kent State.
Yeah, of course, naturally. Well, yeah, toughest places to play right here. Tennessee number 1, LSU number 2. This has been a rough conversation for debate. Somebody asked me if I think Death Valley is the toughest place to play. Here's the thing about LSU is that now listen, at their max capacity, they are. There is no place more hostile on planet Earth than Tiger Stadium at night because those drunk LSU fans are absolutely wild. And this is somebody speaking who's been at both Neyland Stadium and Tiger Stadium. Tiger Stadium at night is louder than Neyland Stadium. That's just the way it is. But people say that they're the most consistently loud. And that's a bull-faced lie because LSU during the day and LSU at night is two completely different worlds.
Mm-hmm.
You go to LSU Stadium at noon and it's a freaking group of 5 stadium. It's like USC. Nobody's there. Or if they are there, they're just there in spirit, not voice. That's why Tennessee was able to go in there so easily and just absolutely destroy Burger King and them. But yeah, no. LSU at night and LSU at day, completely different worlds. Definitely not the most consistent. But yeah, there are definitely some really, really big time home environments. Florida's definitely a tough one. Penn State, of course. I'm really surprised Michigan's not on here, though. I think
Oh
Michigan
yeah.
should be represented here.
Well, the thing is with Michigan, the way that their stadium's built, practically all the noise practically just goes straight up. Like,
Oh yeah, because their stadium's built into the ground.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, that is true.
so it makes it a lot less loud. Well, I mean, I'm not saying it's not loud. I'm just saying that it makes it less louder than like other stadiums since it's built into the ground and all the a lot of the noise is just escapes. Well, if you look at Neyland, a lot of the noise is contained and stuff because they got the things built on the top of it that keeps a lot of the noise in.
Yeah. And this is honestly a pretty fair list. It's hard to determine the toughest places to play when there's so many really good home environments. Although, I mean, the only things that I would pick out of this is that I don't think Oregon is a top 5 environment. I think they're close. I just don't think they're top 5. I would put probably either Ohio State, the Horseshoe, or Jordan Hare. That's what I would do.
Yeah, I do agree with. It might sound biased, but I actually do agree with Tennessee at 1 because I feel like anytime Tennessee fans, they always show up, even if it's against an FCS team, they always show up and they're always loud.
Yeah.
I feel like at 2 though, honestly, I might put Penn State there.
That's fair.
Happy Valley is like really insane, especially during a whiteout. Whiteout games, that might be the best environment in college football. A whiteout Penn State game.
And as you can tell, a specific individual here does a little bit of trolling. As I said, live look at Georgia fans as they are not being recognized by the gods of everything because they were one of the fan bases, shockingly enough, that got most upset about this ranking. And
well, the reason they're upset is because they beat us the past couple, more like the past 3 times in the Olympics.
Yeah, but what they don't realize is that good team doesn't equal good environment. That's just the way it is. USC could have an absolutely elite team. They could have a title-winning team. That suddenly doesn't equal elite environment. They don't have the number 1 environment because they have the number 1 team. So if Georgia fans think that's how that works, and why is Oxford not here? Why is Oxford not number 1? Didn't they beat Georgia? Didn't they absolutely annihilate Georgia? It doesn't add up.
Oh yeah, why isn't Vanderbilt there?
Well, maybe if this was pre-game atmosphere, Oxford might be up there, but the ball's got to kick off eventually.
Right. I mean, and they're talking about 41-0. They talk about that one game particularly as if it wasn't the worst season in Tennessee football history, and that's like that Tennessee team that you saw back in 2017 was just the status quo. Like, what are they talking about?
Yeah, like I don't understand. You can't reason with Georgia fans, dude. I've said it on Twitter multiple times. Georgia fans, in my opinion, have the most simple-minded fans in all of college football. You could try to reason with them, they won't listen. They won't.
They've got their heads in the sand. That's just all there is to it. You can't really do anything about that. All right, well, that's all there was to that. Obviously, that creates some. Well, first let me address the comments real fast. Let's see if there's something else for this. He basically have his own experiences at each, so there's the bias, controversial take, just like they did of Fox ruins the Penn State whiteout. What?
I don't know what this dude's talking about.
I think what is he talking about? Where they have a bad record in the whiteout games?
I don't know.
Because the only thing I could criticize Penn State for is that, yeah, they do.
Yeah, the steam from the Wisconsin cheese curds must have gotten his head or something. I have no clue.
The thing with the Penn State whiteout, they of course save their whiteout for like all their big games. But the thing is, Penn State practically almost always saves their whiteout for Ohio State or Michigan, and then they always lose.
Right.
Most of the time.
They should have their whiteout for Oregon this year.
Let's see. Super Nuclear asks, will you be going to Lexington this season? It'd be cool to meet you after the game. I wouldn't bank on it. I've got too many other things to focus on right now.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna try.
Yeah. Hey, Squid, how many games does South Carolina wins this year? I haven't done my official predictions, and I won't probably until August, but if I had to guess, somewhere between 8 to 10 is what I would think. 7 if things go bad, but that's what I've got for them. All right, next up, we do have a little bit of Lady Vols news. Unfortunately, not great news for us. I'm sure you guys know Avery Strickland, a big-time player on the Tennessee team. Unfortunately, she has hit the transfer portal. Yes, Avery Strickland has done indeed hit the transfer portal and has committed to a surprising team, Belmont. She's going to be playing at Belmont for the 2025 season. So take from that what you will. You know, I mean, I'm not really sure why you'd leave Tennessee for Belmont of all places, but all the power to her. Hope it goes well.
I mean, we should be fine though. Like I've stated on here multiple times, Kim Caldwell has or is this soft? She was a basketball player, right?
Yeah.
I'm still kind of trying to get used to the roster, but yeah, we bring in a very good recruiting class. We bring in some good transfers. We should be fine this year. I've been saying it like for the past few months. I think the Lady Vols have a chance to be a top 10 team next year. 'Cause I like Kim Caldwell. I like what she's doing with the team. I think we're fine.
Oh yeah. I wonder if it was a issue with where she was on the depth chart. That might have been the reason.
I'm not gonna lie, it wouldn't shock me because like I said, we're bringing in a lot of talent for this upcoming year. So she might have got buried on the depth chart.
I would assume that, but also where Cam wants to do the hockey subs, she might not have, like you just said, been where she wanted to be in the sub list or whatever.
Yeah, and Belmont is pretty local. It's not like, right next to the University of Tennessee, but it's in Nashville, so it's not really even that. Yeah.
I think it's Belmont, like if I was going to choose like a group of 5 program like in the state to go to, that was a basketball player, men or women, I'd pick Belmont because they're pretty good. It's a nice campus, actually. I don't know if you've ever been near their campus, but it's extremely nice. It's in like a nice neighborhood.
I'm just glad you didn't say Memphis.
Very true.
Memphis, no. That would probably be down my list. I don't know. I think I might even pick Tennessee State over them.
Yeah, I would pick a Lipscomb over Memphis.
I don't know if I've ever seen Lipscomb's.
New Lipscomb's also located in Nashville.
Well, see, the thing is, since I go to Nashville a lot and stuff like that, I've seen, I know Lipscomb's down there, but I've only seen like Vanderbilt, of course, because I've seen Vanderbilt because that's practically like riding a horse, and then I've seen Tennessee State because it's not too far from Vanderbilt.
Yeah.
And then,
what is with Nashville with having all these D1 colleges? They got Vanderbilt, Tennessee State, Lipscomb, Belmont.
I mean, it is the capital. So.
I like how many colleges we got. I'll say that much. You chill right there. You chill right there, Smokey. I let him come in because he usually just kind of chills out on the bed. So I can rely on him to be seated here. Maybe, I don't know. We'll see. We'll come back to him in a minute. Scooter can't come in. Scooter's not allowed to come in because every time he does, it goes straight under the bed and starts chewing all my cords. So, yeah, okay, yeah. As soon as I say that, guess where Smokey just went? Guess where he just went? Under the freaking bed.
Under the bed. He's gonna chew on your cords.
Probably. It's not like they aren't already broken, so we'll carry on as normal. All right, next up, we got some men's basketball news, and shocker here, we're going to be talking about the NBA draft because there were some big things to happen in that. Some big-time Tennessee players, of course, got drafted. Shocking revelation, I know. And who else to start out with other than Mr. Chaz Lanier? He was selected 37th overall in the NBA draft by the Detroit Pistons. So shout out to Chaz Lanier for being the first pick. 37th overall, but first pick from Tennessee. I know he's going to do great there. He's an absolute beast. He's going to ball out for sure. 44% from three-point range. I'd argue that's pretty good. So we'll be looking to see what he can do once he gets over there. Along with him, Igor Milicic. He's going with the Philadelphia 76ers and is invited to the Summer League and training camp. So shout out to him. Zakai Ziegler, the man who tried his absolute hardest to get another year for Tennessee. He is also suiting up for the Detroit Pistons, so he will be playing with Chaz Lanier. That's going to be fun. And he's playing with the Summer League team, so we'll get to see him and Chaz Lanier on the court pretty soon. Along with all those guys.
Super nuclear. He really said Zakai Ziegler didn't get drafted and now needs to get a job. Well, he was an undrafted free agent, dummy.
Something else is that, of course, we mentioned Milicic to the Sixers. Jordan Gainey, he's off to the Suns. And Jemai Meshack, also known as Mr. Irrelevant, he has joined the Grizzlies. Yes, he's off to the Memphis Grizzlies, so he will be staying in the state of Tennessee. So, yeah, that's 5 players that are going to be picked up and going to NBA teams. So, obviously, pretty good squad overall. I'm going to miss all those guys. Hopefully, they do great in the pros. And they'll always be remembered for their performances here, getting us to 2 Elite Eights and whatever else.
Yeah, as a Grizzlies fan, I'm very excited for Jemai Meshack. I like what he brings to the table for the team, especially, of course, defensively, because he was one of the best, if not the best, player when it comes to defense in college basketball last year. So I'm liking what he brings to the table there, and he gets to play with Ja Morant, so that's cool. And then Chaz Lanier, he's going on a Pistons team that made the playoffs last year. He gets to play with Cade Cunningham, so I guess that's cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. They're gonna ball out. I know that for a fact. All right. Well,
oh yeah. Also, Mark Sears didn't get drafted.
Oh yeah. Ooh. Did he? They do free agents over at the NBA, right?
Yeah.
They do. Yeah, they do. They do undrafted free agency. Yeah.
Did Johnny Broom get signed?
He might have gotten drafted. I don't
Broom.
know, but...
I'm pretty sure he's using his extra year of eligibility to stay with somebody.
Of course he is.
Yeah,
oh
you guys didn't know that? I thought you already knew that.
Yeah.
Are you talking about Chad Baker Mazzara?
Could
because I know Chad Baker Mazzara. I know he trains for the USC because
Okay.
Oh, okay, no, he's with the 76ers. No, Johnny Broom's with the Sixers. Yeah, I was thinking of Chad Baker Mazzara.
Yeah, Chad Baker Lasagna. Yeah.
Okay, Smokey. Hold on, give me a second.
All right, listen. I'm pretty sure we can all agree. Chad Baker Lasagna. He just needs to get a job. He just needs to stop going. He needs to stop using all these years as eligibility. Like, he needs to stop.
Chill out. Okay.
Like, Chad Baker Lasagna, please make that LinkedIn account. I'm begging you.
Wait, who was
all right, Smokey, get out.
Oklahoma State's quarterback last year?
Wait, what'd you say?
What was the name of Oklahoma State's quarterback last year?
Okay, now he doesn't want out. I don't understand these cats. I wish I could.
I
don't
know. Chad Baker got to practice his Chinese. Yeah, he can go on Duolingo. It's free.
Hey, Squid. Ain't Oklahoma State's TV last year named Alan Bowman or whatever? Wasn't that his name?
Yeah, Alan Bowman.
Yeah,
he was 6
we
years.
Were talking about people, we were talking about people that need to get jobs in college sports, and I think he definitely applies.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, no, he's got the Shanghai Sharks want him bad. All right, Smokey. Bye-bye.
Yeah, Guangdong Tigers.
Ridiculous, man. They're gonna come in and invade my show, and then they don't want to be on the show anymore. They get stage fright. I don't get it.
Isn't he, Chad Baker Lasagna, getting to the point of being illegal to hang out with 18-year-olds? Wouldn't shock me. He's been in college ever since World War II.
Well, Cam Rising, before he medically retired, just to let you know how long he had been in school, he was committed to Lincoln Riley at one point, and what was it? I think the
2018 was his first year.
Yep.
I mean that is absolutely insane to think about. He is seeing the rise. He is seeing the rise and fall of Jeremy Pruitt, and then some. Think about that for a second. He started the same year Jeremy Pruitt started at Tennessee, so he's seen all of that plus 4 additional years of Josh Heupel. I mean, it's crazy to think about. And he would have seen more had it. He was trying to get another year, but his doctors literally said, no, you cannot play. So, yeah.
Well, no, he had another year. I think he had another year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, he had another year, but literally his doctors would not let him play.
Good job by the doctors, honestly. I'm sorry. He needed to retire. I'm sorry. I hate to be that guy, but
he's just a permanent nemesis of the injury bug. It was an endless loop on repeat.
Exactly.
He plays injured, plays injured, plays injured. Last year was the perfect example of it. 4 games into the season, he's down with what was thought to be a career-ending injury. It comes back late into the season, and then in the very first 3 plays, guess what? Injured again.
Yeah.
Insane.
I'll say this. How's that old saying go? Leave the game before the game leaves you. I think Cam Rising is a perfect example of that.
Right. All right. Well, on to some baseball news. Of course, in regard to the transfer portal, there is some news around that as well. As most of you already know, I talked about this last week. We've now got over 20 Tennessee players who have entered the transfer portal this offseason. And, of course, a lot of that has been due to depth changes and all of that, and due to the fact that Tony has brought in some significant transfers through the portal. Well, he's brought in some more. As if that wasn't enough, he's brought in some more. We talked about Garrett Wright and Mr. Henry Ford. But there's another man who has joined us. Mr. Landon Mack from Rutgers has committed to Tennessee. And this is a big-time get because this guy is a really, really good. A huge addition. 4.03 ERA. He struck out 70 and 80.1 innings with just 17 walks. I mean, the dude is an absolute beast. He's going to do some big work. And to have a guy like that on the defensive front, I think is going to do numbers for Tony Vitello and the rest of the Tennessee team.
Yeah, definitely a big get. It's what we definitely need. We definitely need some better pitching because, we did lose some in the portal. We didn't really have a lot of good pitching last year. But, yeah, massive get. I'm pretty sure he was actually at one point favored to go to LSU, and then Tennessee stole him right under LSU's noses, which I absolutely love.
Yeah, but there's 8 rings, though. There are 8 rings, though. Don't you know there are 8 rings?
Yeah, eight rings, yeah. But there's 2 other names that I'm looking for in the portal. They entered the portal today, actually. There was, LSU player who hit the portal. I think he won SEC Freshman of the Year. So I'm hoping that Tennessee could possibly land him. And then there was another pitcher from South Carolina who put up around a 4 ERA. So I'm hoping Tennessee can also get him. That would also be a really nice get for the Vols.
Right, for sure. Octavian's here. In case y'all don't know Octavian, he is an absolutely insane Florida fan. Every time he comments, just let him know that Billy Napier has got a losing record to Tennessee.
I'm not even going to say anything about Tennessee beating Florida in the swamp this year because last time, Octavian, I remember.
Yeah, we know what happened, so.
Yeah.
Let's
was
just kind of cross
embarrassing.
our fingers and hope for the best around that.
You best believe if we beat Florida in the swamp, though, I'm letting Octavian know all
Oh,
about
we're
it.
letting everybody know about it. Yeah, that's a celebration day. All right, well, we do have some softball news. Tennessee softball players Aubrey Leach and Carlin Pickens, shocker, represented the Lady Vols at the USA Softball All-Star Showcase. And not only that, but Miss Aubrey Leach absolutely played out of her mind. She had a home run in the first game, and then in the second game hit a grand slam. So shout out to both of those players. Really, really good. Going to, I mean, they are absolutely really, really good. I know that for a fact. What?
Nothing. Least delusional Florida fan.
Oh, you're talking about Octavian.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Octavian.
Florida owns Tennessee so much that their current coach is a losing record versus them.
You know what? Screw it. About to be 3-1, or about to be 1-3 against Tennessee as well. I don't care.
That's a good
We're beating-
point. Oh my goodness, Mark Stoops has a winning record versus Billy Debert. Oh no, is that?
That's
yeah,
bad.
that's right. That is right.
That's
yeah,
bad.
that's bad.
Like, how do you have a losing record of motivated Mark Stoops?
Ooh, yeah, ouch.
Yeah. Super Nuclear's been letting me know a lot about motivated Mark Stoops. Like, yeah, he's motivated to go 2-10. That's
Yeah,
what he's
right.
motivated
Kind of
for.
reminds me of Dan. Speaking of Florida, kind of reminds me of Dan Mullen and his favorite word, development. He showed us a lot about development in his time at Florida. I wonder if Billy's got any of that in him, Mr. Billy Debert. I wonder if he's got any of that in him.
Florida Gators is back. Back to what? Back to what?
Sam Watson says Carson Beck and Miami going to tear Florida and who hassle. I'm excited for that game. That's one of the non-con games I'm really excited for because I do think that is going to be way more of a dogfight than last year's was because Miami just destroyed Florida last year. But I think that's going to be a really fun match. DJ Lagway and Carson Beck battling it out again. I think we're going to find out whether or not Florida is the real deal.
Back to winning the SEC.
Wait. I have a question. Didn't Florida and Miami used to play for the Seminole War Canoe?
I'm sure they did,
What?
yeah. Probably. I mean, they
Why
are
don't
rivals.
Why don't they have any cool trophies anymore besides like the Big Ten? Why does no one have cool trophies anymore?
Probably because they just don't care. I mean,
Meh.
the only one, LSU and Arkansas, they've got the boot. I think that's a pretty cool trophy.
Yeah, but but it's kind of like just like the shape of the state. Like Iowa and Minnesota literally play for a John Bronze pig. I think that's kind of cool.
Look, I keep
Yeah,
telling people Moonshine Mayhem needs to be a thing. Tennessee Vanderbilt, that needs to be the new name of the rivalry. I'm telling you, that is going to go
Or
such
heck-
a long way.
Or heck, call it the Mountain Dew Mayhem because Mountain Dew is made in Tennessee.
No, that doesn't fit. No. That's
Mountain Dew Monstrosity.
Yeah. No. That doesn't fit.
The Mountain Dew Monsoon.
Maybe have a
Also,
mountain.
here's-
Maybe if instead, like for the Liberty Bowl, maybe they could sponsor like the Mountain Dew Liberty Bowl. That would be a great name for that.
Well,
But
see,
ain't the Liberty Bowl? It's not played in Tennessee, is it?
Yeah, it is.
Liberty Bowl is in Memphis.
Oh.
Yeah, it's in Memphis, not Nashville, but it's still in the state of Tennessee.
Oh yeah, I guess Mountain Dew. You know Mountain Dew was named after moonshine, right? Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I know.
What I was gonna say though, it still pisses me off that Tennessee, Kentucky won't play for the barrel just because I understand why they done it back then, but one, it's not gonna bring them back, and two, you both literally sell alcohol in the stadium.
Yeah, I don't know. They need to bring back the. I mean, to be fair, if they did bring back the barrel, it would literally just stay with Tennessee the whole time.
Well, that aside, the main reason why they did away with it wasn't even anything due to alcohol. It was more due to the fact that the opposing fans kept stealing it. and that was obviously a problem. That's a thing with Tennessee and Kentucky. Kentucky fans back in the 50s or the 60s, I can't remember which, but they stole Smokey from the guy walking, and like he was walking, and then the Kentucky fan was like, "Hey, can I hold Smokey?" And he's like, "Yeah, sure." And then he takes the dog and runs off with it. Thankfully, the dog was fine, but literally they stole Smokey and then had him wear like a Kentucky thing on him.
Ew.
Yeah.
Did the dude go to jail? That's kidnapping a dog.
I mean, they've got bad blood. I'm pretty sure back when Kentucky had like a live Wildcat mascot, I think Smokey and the Wildcat sort of went at it with each other when the two mascots met, and Smokey tore that thing apart.
Of course it did.
Yeah, shocker.
Shocker, because Wildcats are a bunch of, but yeah, they're.
Who would have seen that coming?
Yeah.
But
animal abuse, yeah. But
yeah, I was literally gonna make that joke. I was gonna say, I'm pretty sure that's abuse towards Smokey.
yeah, not gonna lie. When Squid brought up like when they stole Smokey, it kind of reminded me of USC and UCLA's rivalry trophy, which is like a bell. I don't know how it came to tuition. It was something like USC. It was either USC students or UCLA students. I can't remember which one. They like stole a bell off of one of the other universities' like fire trucks, and they took it back to their campus, and for some reason they just decided to make that their rivalry trophy.
Mm-hmm.
Literally just an old bell of a fire truck.
Yeah, what don't college kids steal stuff anymore? What happened to the good old days?
Yeah, what happened to the good old days where people stole stuff? What happened?
Yeah. Well, I mean, the whole mascot thing is funny too, because people say that like dogs like that are dangerous, but they keep Peruna around. SMU's mascot, SMU's got the only mascot which is actually unalived another mascot. That's the only time in history anything like that's ever happened.
Wait, whose mascot did it kill?
It was the Fordham Ram. The two met, and
how did
literally how I think it went down was the two met something like on the sideline or something, and the SMU Peruna, which is a horse or a pony, whatever it is, walked up to it, turned around, and I think the Ram started. I think the Ram was like super aggressive from the start, trying to ram, like do what the name says, ram into the horse, and Peruna was having none of it. So it turns around, and in one swift kick, gone. Lights out. A little more than lights out. Good night.
I'm not gonna lie. I know that's actually kind of sad, but not gonna lie, if I saw that happen IRL, I'd probably laugh.
I'm just thinking, if something like that happened in today's college football world, it would be a national event. The SMU would be on every single news station for weeks.
It would be, yeah, almost like kind of like how Bevo, he almost killed Uga that one time.
Yeah, no, I mean, think about like back then how up in arms the animal rights activists were over Bevo and the whole Uga thing. Think about how up in arms they were about that. Imagine if something like that actually happened in today's college football world. I mean, literally, that would drive people wild.
Oh yeah, PETA would go insane. Oh yeah, PETA would go insane.
Yeah,
PETA would start trying to cancel college football.
Smokey tried to. I think he bit the Baylor Bears during the Sugar Bowl in the 50s, if I remember correctly. They were trying to meet, and Smokey ended up biting the bear. The bear missed, and then Smokey ran.
Smokey's such a badass. He really.
I
is.
remember
Because who else has like a blue tick hound can throw hands at the bear and then come out on the winning end?
Exactly.
Absolutely crazy.
That kind of reminds me one time where I think it was in the 90s, I think. Or it was either in the 90s or the early 2000s where Auburn was playing Georgia, and then an Auburn player runs out of bounds right in front of Uga's face, and Uga almost bit the dude's leg.
Yeah, no, I remember the whole Uga thing where he almost bit that Auburn player's leg. Yeah, that's crazy. I do remember that. No.
That was in 1996. Yeah, I figured it was in the 90s or 2000s.
You know,
Something like
Bulldogs
that.
are little babies. When I
They
think
are.
about dangerous mascot, I mean, obviously Uga can be dangerous, but one thing I really think of is Michigan's mascot, the WolVolrine. Those little bastards can kill somebody in a heartbeat. They're insane.
They are.
Or a badger.
I feel like a Wolverine's probably more dangerous than a badger.
Oh yeah, probably. They're both pretty dangerous, but
those are both mean.
But you know what's more dangerous than all those combined? A Chippewa.
The hell even is a
What
Chippewa?
even is a Chippewa? What even is a Chippewa?
You're the Central Michigan fan here. Don't. Oh my god, you're pathetic. How are you gonna run around with that? You're sure about how great the Chippewas are, and you don't even know what the hell it is. What's wrong with you?
I'm pretty sure, ain't that a Native American tribe, the Chippewa?
Yeah, it says it's another name for the Ojibwe people, a large Native American tribe primarily located in the Great Lakes region of the United States and southern Canada.
Yeah.
So yeah, basically a tribe, and they would absolutely spear the absolute crap out of a Wolverine and a Badger.
Every time I think about that, I just think about that South Park episode where remember that? I don't know if you guys ever seen it, the South Park episode where like literally the Miami Dolphins are the whole thing is surrounding around the Japanese killing dolphins. Yeah. And it's something like that. And then they go into the Miami Dolphins stadium and just stab them too.
Oh God.
I thought it was funny. Hey Squid, who's a better quarterback? G5 Joey or Nico?
Group of 5 Joey.
Right now Joey. Nico has a higher ceiling, I think, because Joey's a fifth-year senior, or is he? Yeah, he's getting close to there. Hey Squid, would you please make a video on weird mascot history from the SEC? Perhaps. Let's see. Mike Bobo would ironically lead Georgia to an upset win over a ranked Auburn team in that game by a score of 56-49 in 4 overtimes. Georgia and South Carolina have a lot of history with exchanging coaches. Let's not forget that Will Muschamp is on the Georgia roster.
Miami's mascot is literally a hurricane. We beat all of y'all. No, you wouldn't. Your mascot's a duck.
No, it's a tropical storm. Because a hurricane would imply that you do damage to anything but yourself.
Yeah. By the way, your mascot Sebastian, he's a duck.
And the Seminoles, Florida State. I mean, a gator, obviously. Mike the Tiger's insane too. I mean, there are a couple of insane tigers, but I think Mike the Tiger is like the one that stands above them all.
Why don't Baylor have a lot of Bears mascot?
I don't know. And the whole Tiger thing, especially since Auburn's too stupid to figure out what they want to do with their mascot. Yeah, we're the Auburn Tigers. Now here's an eagle.
Yeah, they should have been called the Auburn Eagles instead.
It just doesn't. It really doesn't make sense. It doesn't add up. It would be like if the Chicago Bears came out and they're like, and here come the Chicago Bears. And then you see an alligator on the ground running through the whatever. It's like it doesn't add up. Tennessee also has Davy Crockett. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Miami mascot is an ibis. I mean, it's supposed to be, but that thing looks more like a duck.
You know what animal I have an irrational hatred for just because
Geese.
I've had bad experiences with?
Geese.
I hate pelicans.
Oh, pelicans. Oh, I thought he was about to say geese because that actually makes more sense because geese are a bunch of jerks.
Because pelicans have like stole my food like 2 times.
Yeah, you want to know?
So, like, anytime I see a pelican, I want to punch it Like, I have an irrational hatred of them.
You want to know what's funny? Octavian, I think it was him that said Smokey would, or like a gator would beat up Smokey or whatever. Which is funny since we have actual foolproof evidence of Smokey beating the hell out of a Florida gator. And we have evidence of this, by the way. I've got it here on the screen.
I think I know what you're talking about.
Well, yeah, of course you do. You saw it for yourself. Look at this.
Yeah.
I mean,
Look at that.
like you're seeing it yourself. Beat
Oh,
the
yeah.
hell out of that gator.
Oh yeah, look at him giving the elbow. Jeez.
Poor gator never stood a chance.
Yeah, exactly. Does Florida even have a live mascot?
No, at least I don't think so.
They don't? Like, how? It's literally just a gator. Like, how do you not actually just get an alligator? I'm pretty sure they're roaming everywhere in Florida.
Yeah, the closest thing they have to their mascot is Billy Napier.
No, because that would be dangerous. Even though LSU has a frigging tiger.
Yeah, but he's in a cage. And I've seen the cage. It's not even really even a cage. They call it a cage, but that ain't no cage. That is a island. It is. It's more like a resort. He's got so much. He's got so much space in that cage. He can do whatever he wants to. It's like a full-on vacation.
It is. He's Mike the Tiger's living life better than the most of us.
All right. Well, since we have a little bit of free time before we call it wraps on tonight's show, I did want to tell you guys just a little sneak peek about what we've got planned for episode 100. So not everything's finalized yet. There are still some changes to be made, more than likely. But what we're planning on doing is I am getting as many connections as possible for this final show. As I'm sure you guys can probably guess, episode 100 is going to be way longer than every episode beforehand. Way longer, not even close. It's probably going to be longer than my usual Dynasty streams. That's how long it's going to be. It'll probably start around 3 and it'll probably end around 9 to 10. That's how long it is going to be. To give you guys a specific date, it will not, I want to go ahead and throw this out there, it will not be on a Monday. It is going to be on Saturday, August the 2nd. That is episode 100's date. August the 2nd, we're going to be probably streaming from 3 until 9. I'm going to try and get as many connections on as possible, hold up as many people on the panel as we possibly can. And as I progress through it, I'll let you guys know more information in the future. But that's the basic info you need to know, is that episode 100, Saturday, August the 2nd, final episode of the Volstar podcast, probably starting at 3 o'clock. Going to have as many connections as possible. We're going to have a lot of things there. And we're going to have a giveaway for a limited edition Volstar podcast t-shirt. So, yeah, we got a lot. And I'll let you guys know about that and a whole lot more. Octavian, you have plenty of other streams where you can go spew your Florida propaganda, but it's not going to be here, buddy. Not here. Sorry. Anyway, yeah. That's the gist. That's the information of what you need. Pardon me for asking, but why, again, is episode 100 the final episode of the Volstar podcast? Well, we are going to be bringing on a new show starting right after the Volstar podcast. I love talking about Tennessee sports. It's fun, but considering the growth of this channel in the past year, I've decided to expand my horizons much further than just Tennessee sports. We're going to be talking about everything college football and other sports related, and I'll update you guys more on that show as we get closer to that deadline as well. So, yeah, that's all there is to it. All right then. Well, it is 9:09, 9 minutes past. You guys got anything else you want to talk about before we call it wraps?
Not that I can think of. I can't really think of anything else to talk about. But I mean, like I've said the past few weeks, not next episode, but the episode after next episode, I won't be here because I'm gonna be in Florida.
Yeah. Yeah, so episode 98, correct?
Yes.
There you go, miss episode 1998. What's wrong with you, man? Oh, we do have one more thing to talk about, actually, and that is what's going on with Jake Retzlaff and the BYU situation. So it is a really, really weird thing going on with Jake Retzlaff. Like weirder than you could possibly imagine. And the details are obscure because they change every single day. So right now, as it stands, so here's what we know. Jake Retzlaff, back in 2023, I believe, 2023 had what he calls consensual coitus with a female while at BYU. Now, today, she throws out that it was not consensual, but rather a word that I can't say on here, but grape. That's what she's calling it. That's what we're all calling it.
Yeah, grape, drape, however you want to say it.
But that's what she's saying. Yeah, that's what she's saying. It is. Jake Retzlaff is obviously saying otherwise, that it was consensual, but they did do it. And BYU's problem with that as an administration is that they have an honor code which prohibits any sort of sex, whether consensual or anything else. They have an honor code that strictly prohibits any sort of sexual encounters, and they are trying to enforce it the best way that they can. And so they have decided to give him a 7-game suspension. Now, after the 7-game suspension, it is expected that Retzlaff is going to hit the transfer portal. And that's the details we know now. BYU's honor code and their situation regarding the suspension has absolutely nothing to do with the case, which what we know at this point is that apparently it was consensual. That it's confirmed that it was a consensual encounter. It was not grape, but he still broke the honor code, which means that that 7-game suspension is still held up. So
I think she dropped the charges. I think I saw that a couple hours ago.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So okay. So all right. Yeah, the charges got thrown out in court earlier today. So hold up. Since he's transferring, does that mean he's not going to get suspended now? Since he's going to a different school?
Yeah. No. That was a suspension from BYU. It was not a suspension from the NCAA. So if he transfers to another school, he'll be able to play there. Yeah, on the first week. But here's the issue. It's June 30th. Tomorrow it's going to be July. Most teams are heading into their summer practice and will soon be heading into fall practice. They have got pretty much most of their depth chart finalized by now. Who right now is looking for a quarterback in the transfer portal? Nobody. Nobody's looking for a quarterback in the transfer portal. That doesn't mean Jake Retzlaff doesn't have any sort of value. He's a good quarterback. He'd have great value. And now that the charges have been dropped, he can probably bring some value to a team that doesn't have a lot of depth. And I've heard people say that he should go to Tennessee. And I mean, now that we've already picked up Aguilar, I think that ship has well sailed by now.
Send Aguilar back to UCLA.
Yeah, can we not? That starts another set of events. So
or heck, send him to BYU. It'd be an official trade. 2 trades in 1 year.
Yeah, this is coming from the same school that bans coffee. Yeah, a lot of people are angry about BYU's decision here, but at the end of the day, it's their choice what they want to do at their school. And it's Retzlaff's choice for committing to it in the first place. If you don't like the rules that BYU enforces, as stupid as they may be, then go somewhere else. That's the free choice of America, is that you're able to go wherever you want to go.
Exactly. I mean, he should have known. Of course, he should have known the rules, especially since BYU is such a religious school.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's so. That's just the way it goes at the end of the day. I think the big lesson that we can learn from this, though, is abstinence till marriage, everybody. There you go.
Oh yeah. Don't do it until you're married.
There you go. Yeah, we're wholesome around here. We promote that wholesome goodness. But yeah, that's the gist of what's going on with Retzlaff. I'm sure we'll figure out more as it progresses, but I'm sure what we will know is that is the destination that he will go to. Because if anybody actually does need a quarterback, because think about it, these schools are obviously going through summer practice. Chances are one or two of these schools, maybe more, probably see that their quarterbacks are not very good or are not performing up to par. And in my jurisdiction, what would be the harm in picking up an extra quarterback to go along with it? So we'll see how it pans out. If I had to guess, he's going to Kentucky.
Oh, no, that'd be a downgrade.
Hey,
no.
They love their transfer portal quarterbacks. They love nothing more than to pick up another transfer portal quarterback. That's what they live off of.
Nah, Retzlaff, he needs to go to Central Michigan.
Yeah.
He would turn that team into a playoff contender.
Mm-hmm. Of course, that would happen if he's motivated. Yeah, that's the real question. Is Retzlaff motivated? Hey, Squid, my birthday's tomorrow. Well, happy early birthday, Rookie 17. Everybody tell Rookie 17 happy birthday.
So does that mean you're about to go from Rookie 17 to Rookie 18?
That's a good question. Very good question. We'll leave you off with the birthday gift by ending the show. Guys, go ahead and give your birthday wishes A and B. Tell the people whatever you want to tell them before we call it wraps. Okay, great, guys. Yeah, cool. Fantastic.
Yeah. Happy
Providing
birthday. Yeah, happy early birthday, Rookie 18. I hope you have a good birthday tomorrow. And of course, go Vols, tighten up. Football season's upon us, and yeah, that's pretty much all I gotta say. And hopefully the Braves get their stuff together.
Julio?
Happy birthday. I can't remember what he just said, but happy birthday to whoever it was in chat had a birthday. And then.
Oh, he said he's actually gonna be 18. I was right on the money. Yeah, change your name to Rookie 18 tomorrow.
No, he didn't. He said he's going to be 16.
Oh, 16? Oh, I didn't. Well, change your name to Rookie 16,
My
dude.
grandkids could do better than that.
Yeah, no, that's failure. Fail.
But man, he's actually gonna be 16. Dang, he's young. Good lord. Bro didn't even get to see George Bush be president. Like, that's how young he is. Good lord.
Julio, tell the people good
Oh.
night.
Oh, night.
Okay, great job. You did what I told you to. Guys, y'all are great people. Love each and every one of y'all. Y'all are great people. I'm looking forward to seeing you guys again next week. Be here Saturday night. We are ending the Tardaria Squidtard's dynasty off on a high note, hopefully. We're going to be going into the playoffs, ending off season 6. So stay tuned. Wait until the end of it. You guys can list all your players that you want to see in the upcoming College Football 26 version of the Tardaria dynasty. So stick around there if you can. But appreciate y'all being on here on the Volstar Podcast. We'll see you guys next week for episode 97. Love y'all. And as always, power to Tardaria. And of course, go Big Orange. Whee!